Hi folks, welcome to part 6 of this Luthier's Lair series detailing project Boris, the bass guitar, yes. And I can actually reveal who this is for now. It's my good customers Lair Quintana, and in honour of his name, the official model name of the bass is going to be called the Gas Bass Quintessence. Spooky, right? So in this episode we're going to look at putting a nice dark walnut veneer on the headstock so that we can do some engravings and fill it in and stuff. It'll be awesome. And finally the body blank arrived, and it's a spectacular piece of black limber. So let's get on with it. Okay folks, yes, we're going to choose the veneer for the headstock now. I gave the customer a bunch of choices. I do have some really lovely veneer in stock here. For example, this beautiful flame cherry here. I don't know if you can see that, if it shows up, but yeah, flame cherry. There's a quilted cherry, a lighter sort of cherry. It's quilted, beautiful too. We've got plain old mahogany here, mahogany veneer, very thin. This is like 2/100 of an inch thick. A nice sort of flame walnut, which is kind of rare, but very nice also. And of course, good old like bird's eye maple. You can see there, nice piece of bird's eye maple. This is flame maple here. You see the flame figure in it. But yeah, out of all those, the customer chose dark walnut, and this is a particularly spectacular example of dark walnut veneer. Beautiful on both sides, very similar. I will choose a side to do. And what we'll do is we'll get my headstock template. We'll place it maybe about here, and I'll leave some meat on there, and I'll trace round it with a Sharpie, with a fine tip Sharpie, mark where the tuning peg holes are going to be. And of course this bit doesn't get traced round, this just goes straight across. And once we do that, we can cut this out with a pair of good sharp scissors. Very carefully, very carefully. And then what we'll do is we'll glue that onto the headstock using 2 pieces of wood at the back and the front of the headstock. I'm going to do the front of the headstock first, then I'll do the back in a separate operation. It just makes things a lot easier. And we'll cover this with glue, and we'll put it down there and make sure the pressure is even all the way throughout the veneer, because you know when you get to that thickness of wood you have wrinkles in it, and you don't want wrinkles in the finished product. So this will get flattened out completely and glued down. After about an hour or so of clamping, it can be released, and then we'll do the other side. So yeah, that's the plan. Dark walnut it is. And I'm thinking here there's going to be a logo. So what I'll do is I'll laser etch the logo in here down to the base wood, which is maple on the headstock, and then I can fill it with a beautiful like pearl epoxy, and then scrape off the excess flat, and they'll have a beautiful inlay there. So that's the plan. Let's go for it. So I decided to go for a really flat piece of plywood. The front veneer is glued on. This is the rear veneer. As you can see, it's very rough cut. You can't be too precise with cutting veneer because you'll get splinters and it might tear up the grain. So you make it very rough, you stick it in place and you glue it, and make sure there's plenty of weight on there to flatten out excuse me, any of the excuse me, wrinkles in the veneer. So that'll sit for about an hour, maybe 2 hours actually, and then we'll see how it turns out. If it's not up to spec, it's easily either chiselled off or sanded off. There's, you know, but there's no problems there. I expect it to be okay, and then we will go on, we'll stick the rear on there, and then do the same procedure. After that, it will be time to trim it off. Now when it's glued down, it'll be nice and easy to trim around the edges of the headstock to get it into its final shape. So let's see what happens. Okay folks, sorry about the noise, the air conditioning's on, climate control quite important when you're doing veneering. As you can see, it's been 2 hours actually I left this for, and it's completely flat. The glue's basically dry, but I'll leave it for another, you know, another day until I start trimming it with the X-Acto knife set here. All that remains for me to do is flip this, put a piece of wood under here to sandwich, to lift this up, and I'll do the same with the back. Vastly overcut, of course, which means I can trim it. And these pieces here will be the kind of the hardest pieces to trim, but that'll be trimmed up, and of course we'll have our laminate done. Then we'll just trim it up and sand it into shape, and this should be really quite easy to trim, really quite simple. Okay, so there we have it. Make sure these are all sort of lined up, but that's okay. I can drill, you know, holes here and holes through there again, just to make sure. Before I actually put this on, I'm going to drill little pilot holes in the centre of this piece of veneer with a block of wood underneath that, just kind of centre, because I'm going to use a little tool that will gradually take off the wood. Show you this little acorn bit here, and I'll just go gradually down till it hits there. So little pilot holes to know where I am, where I'm located, and then once that's done, I can flip that, and when that's dry, I'll see the centre of this, and I'll do the same with that, so that we've got perfect alignment. I'm not going to chance it any other way by cutting holes in the veneer and possibly ruining the veneer. So that's the way we'll do it. Cool. Well, while I'm waiting for the veneer to dry, as you can see, this is a little bit shaky shookly. This is the centre piece. So I was just going to fire this through my thickness planer, but it blew up. I'm not surprised, it's very old now. So yeah, and there's no way I'm hand planing this. One, my hands get a bit sore with that sort of thing, and two, I'm kind of crap at hand planing. It's something I never really tried to master. You know, I'm great with chisels and everything. I don't know, I don't know. Anyway, so guess what I'm buying this weekend? Yes, a new thickness planer. And July 4th coming up, so there'll probably be sales on, so I'll keep my eye out for a thickness planer that's on sale. Okay, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it? Yes, okay. Yeah, just a quick shot of how the veneer is pressed on to the headstock here. I'm doing the other side now, and of course there's a ledge or cliff, because the headstock is thinner than the neck, of course. So I've got a nice flat piece of plywood here, nice flat piece of plywood here, and I have 50 pounds worth of weights, or about 22 kilograms, something like that, of weight, just pressing this down. This is almost ready to come off, so I will do kind of like a reveal, take the weights off and show you in about, for me it's going to be about 20 minutes, for you it's going to be coming up. Okay, let's take a look at what we got. Get this out of the way here. Okay. Back issues. I don't use these weights for working out because I'll break my back. So, yeah, here we go. And ta-da! Yes, it's on there nicely. Just needs shaped, of course. Now, the glue did set up very nicely on the front, and I was able to trim that. The thought occurred to me, of course, that you know, when I'm doing this, and I kind of always forget this step, which is stupid, that you know, if I leave that overhanging, it's going to be difficult for me to trim around here with an overhang on this. So I got rid of the overhang on that, you know, roughly, so that I can get access with my new set of X-Acto knives that I bought today, actually, because my old set was completely worn out, and then just go around using this and trim off all that stuff using an X-Acto knife, and then go over it with some fine sandpaper and maybe, you know, a file, something like that. You know, all the marks are still there. That's not entirely accurate there. Well, perhaps it is when I looked at the other side. There's maybe an offset there, but that's not a problem. We can sort of dig that away and then use the use this to gently shave off where the holes are for the tuning pegs, and we should be cool. We should be really cool to go. It is a beautiful looking veneer. When I put some sealer, I'll sand it down very lightly, then I will use a grain filler and sealer on it, the Solar Res products, which is, hold on, I can show you that right here. That's the grain sealer I'm going to use, grain sealer and filler, and get that on there. And then after that, I'm going to laser engrave a logo in here. Okay. Then I'll fill that with a pearlescent epoxy. Wait for that to cure. Scrape it off, just leaving it level, so you can see the logo. And I'll probably laser engrave something here too. And then after that, we use this, but that's not to the very end. This is the gloss, the high gloss finish, ultraviolet curable. Takes about 3 minutes to cure in direct sunlight. So yeah, turned out pretty good. Looks nice, and I appreciate the choice that the customer made on the dark walnut, because it's going to look really spectacular when it's finished. Little bits and pieces in there. I'll get some denatured alcohol to that. We'll get that off. But yeah, I think I might let that rest for a couple of more hours before I use the scalpel or X-Acto knife on that. There you go. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're getting this contoured into shape, basic shape anyway, with some 220 grit by hand, not even a sanding block right now, because I want to be very careful with this. Just short strokes like that to get this into the shape of the headstock. Now the issue here is, do not pull back the way against the run of the grain. If you do that, if you haven't been kinda in the ballpark with the X-Acto knife, you're going to get a splinter in your thumb. And I should take my own advice, because I just got one. I went, oh, there's a bit, and I went, oh my god, the splinter came out. Always handy to have this fella on hand for that. You might pull it up, and it might pull up, a layer might pull up. The glue had kept it down, but this splinter came up off the wood, not the glue. So be careful with that. And all you're doing is just very gentle single strokes to get this flowing, and now I can put my finger across that and not pull up any splinters into it. So you take your time with this, And once that is satisfactory, we'll begin sort of rounding off these edges a little bit and give it a bit more of a three-dimensional look, you know. Always remember down here, the tiny little detail parts here, they need to be taken care of too. Just keep doing it and you'll be good. Everything will blend in. You'll be nice and happy. You'll be glad you took the time to take care of that sort of thing. Okay? Cool. Okay, the blank has arrived. Sorry, my big melon head's in the way of the light here, but let's see what we've got. It's meant to be black limber. We shall see if it is indeed black limber. Oh my God, look at that. Oh my God, what a beautiful piece of black limber that is. Okay, I'm gonna take the wood out of the box. You don't need to see that bit, and then I'll have a quick look at it. Right, it looks fantastic. Hold on, be right back. Okay, do we need extra light on this? I'll just go along it. You'll see it as we go along anyway. This is the body blank. It's going to get bifurcated though, because I need to stick two sides onto this. Now it might look short, but remember the base tails in here. It tails into that. So that will get cut down in twain. As it will. Look at this black limber. Let me do something with this that will show you how special this wood is. I really should have prepared for this, right? Hold on. Watch this. We get some denatured alcohol here. Flip that open. Get a shop towel. Get some denatured on it, and watch this. Look at that. Look at that. It's just unbelievable. Oh my God. What a beautiful piece of wood. Beautiful. I'm going to wait for that to evaporate and then I'll flip it so you can see the other side. Usually the other side of black limber is a little plainer, a little more plain than the front side for some reason. I don't know why. It's probably the way it's cut. But yeah, very nice. Very nice. Just blow this up a bit. There we go. And let's flip it. Yeah, see, it's a little less charismatic on the back, so obviously we know what's going to be the front, right? And it has been excuse me, it has been kind of jointed. As you can see, even if I put alcohol in that, it would pop out. It would really pop. But this is an absolutely spectacular piece of black limber. Oh, hope my customer likes it. I'm just going to go and take a photograph now for him and send it off. Do this here. See that? Oh, that's going to take some doing. Good job it's going to go through a planer, because this is really hard to get off the stuff. Nice, huh? Awesome. Okay folks, that's it for part 6. Part 7 coming up next time, and in that part hopefully we'll start about getting the body blank together and getting all planed down and see what we come up with. Okay, if you enjoy what I do on this channel and you find it interesting, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It's free to the channel. Give me a thumbs up and ring that notification bell so that you will be notified the next time I do an upload of anything actually. So yeah, looking forward to the next part. Just remains for me to say, as usual, stay safe, be good. I'll catch you next time. Thanks very much for watching, folks. Cheers. Bye bye.